Don't believe what they want you to believe.
Good evening, true believers, and welcome to another informative episode of Vin and Justin's Tinfoil Hat Society. Tonight, we look to blur the lines between reality and the macabre.
That's a fun word.
As we discuss the phenomenon that is the Hatman and how it links to sleep paralysis. Watching Joe with a lapdog is weird. Also, Mike is so timed out, he just looks, hi.
You too. How many you want down?
But anyways, I am co-host of this show. Justin, joining me as always, my brother from my mother's, whatever the fuck you're my cousin.
Yes.
Not that hard.
Mike's,
I'm Vin.
Yeah,
and Mike's frozen.
Mike is frozen again.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking carbonite?
Star Wars Day was the other day, bro.
I know, I'm watching Revenge of the Sith right now.
Rosario Dawson called today Revenge of the Sixth.
Yeah, that's the new one going on. Mike, you good?
Hopefully.
Okay.
I switched over to the 5G part of the router, and hopefully that doesn't suck as much.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
and joining us, our beloved Council of... No.
Mike, with my turkey neck. And Joe, when Minnie went somewhere, she was our honorary counsel. Nah, actually, she probably would have agreed with you guys.
I asked you to put Minnie in your lap because Megan wanted to see her. Full disclosure.
Oh.
She loves her.
She wanted down.
I get it.
Alright, let's begin. The Hatman is a popular figure in sleep paralysis lore and urban legends. Described as a tall, dark, featureless entity with a wide-brimmed hat, often seen lurking in doorways, corners, or by beds, he's frequently associated with shadow people, and reports of encounters have been shared on social media and message boards since the late 2000s. So while some accounts describe him as watching or hovering over the person, he's not usually described as actively attacking or touching them. The Hatman is strongly associated with sleep paralysis, a neurological condition where a person is temporarily unable to move or speak while transitioning between sleep and wakefulness. So, he's also known as the Benadryl Hatman.
Wait, he's got sponsorship?
Yeah.
Some reports link that the Hatman's appearance to the abuse of overconsumption of Benadryl, which can induce hallucinations.
Yep. So Lil Wayne's a big fan of this guy.
I'm more into the NyQuil hoodie dude.
So the widespread reports of the Hatman's appearance suggest a shared psychological response to the sleep paralysis experience, potentially rooted in cultural beliefs and fears.
It kind of sounds like the Babadook. Like the Babadoosh.
I mean, that's kind of where they cribbed the idea of that from.
At least the look.
Yeah. Let's before we get further, let's talk a little bit.
Hiccups.
Who's got the hiccups? Is that Vin? Oh, the worst.
Sometimes when I take Zins, I get the Zin hiccups. They'll go away. But they're not right now.
Has anybody experienced sleep paralysis in the group?
Yes. Once.
Yeah.
Once or twice maybe, and it's always when I'm laying on my back. Like
Yeah.
I said, I can't really sleep on my back well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few times. I was trying to astral project in my mid-20s. Or no, lucid dreaming, that's what I was trying to do. And my friend told me that's dark magic. Don't do it, so I stopped. But I succeeded once.
Dark magic.
But I did not witness any entity.
What a silly statement. Trying to control your dreams is dark magic.
Yeah, man, that's like primal shit right there. I had a shadow person, not the Hatman, but a shadow figure during one particularly terrifying sleep paralysis issue. So I was like, I do this thing a lot where, like, prior to falling asleep, I hallucinate a lot. This happens 3 to 4 times a fucking week.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Normally though, it's like
You might be a wizard.
it's like floaty, like wavy things, or there's been a few times where I've seen like small airships.
Yep, those are the door ships.
Like going by, and like I know I'm awake because but I'm not paralyzed during most of this. Like I am up, moving, and I'm trying to grab said object.
Are we sure the borrowers don't live in your house?
So that's what I'm thinking. But it's something that's always happened.
So
Move with you.
I'll segue when you're done.
Okay.
I got it.
Because
got
I
it.
have another experience that involves Vinny. I don't know if he remembers this or not.
Me?
Yes. So, years ago, my ex-wife, myself, and Vinny drove down to Florida to meet up with our family. And we had stopped the night in a hotel. And I had hallucinated that a giant spider had dropped down from the fucking ceiling and landed on our bed. So I jump up and I fucking throw the covers over the spider. And Veronica jumps out of bed, and Vinny's like, "What the fuck's going on?" I was like, "There's a spider."
I vaguely remember this.
So they're like, "What?" And I was like, "There's a big fucking spider. It's under the covers." So we pull it back, and there's nothing there. I was like, "I know."
Did I obviously grab some sort of item?
Yes, you
right?
grabbed whatever.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah.
You armed yourself? You kind of have to.
Yeah, he was ready. He was ready.
Dude, arachnids? I don't fuck with arachnids. They're dead. They're my personal space. Nah, son.
They're just trying to help out, man.
But yeah, like most of the time, it's floaty, like nonsensical like shapes that are just like phasing through our reality or whatever. But the one time was a very well muscled demonic creature.
You sure this wasn't a wet dream?
Nah.
I was actually standing over your bed that night. It was me.
It could have been you. Slightly taller though, so maybe you were wearing lifts.
I was on the
Yeah. That was a full sleep paralysis thing. Like I couldn't, like I was trying to move and I could not. And then it triggered an asthma attack.
Oh boy.
Thankfully, it was here. It was right around the time we first started dating. And she shook me loose of the fucking hallucination. And I grabbed my inhaler and she's like, "What the fuck?" So I'm like, "Don't worry. It doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes I see shit. We're all right."
Do you pull the sheet up to your chin and say, "I see dead people"?
Nah. I mean, I've seen her grandmother in this house and stuff. That's a whole different episode. But yes, so we've all experienced some form of sleep paralysis.
Mine didn't happen on its own, though. As a PSA to any young listeners out there, mushrooms are weird.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mushrooms should be done preferably in the daytime.
Uh-huh.
You're going to do them at night.
Yeah, don't do them at night.
If you're gonna do them at night, have plans. Prepare to do a thing on them.
Or do them at like 3:30, 4 a.m. so you can see the sunrise. Because then you kind of have like a glimmer of hope. And you're like, oh, it's good now.
Yeah, like
That's when you're peaking.
Don't do it early in the night.
You're doing them to like accentuate the thing. Like, oh, I want to see the sunrise. Fucked out of my skull.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
The woods, you gotta do them in the woods.
That's a bit much.
Hiking or camping? Nah, bro. You see the ground breathing? It's pretty sick.
No thanks.
Pretty sick.
Some of those I agree with, some of them I don't. The one I absolutely implore people not to do is finish off whatever amount of mushrooms you had and then go right to sleep.
No, don't do that.
That's a bad idea. You're
gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you close your eyes, you're like, this is gonna be forever.
Dude, I saw a face on my wall when that happened. It looked like the Wizard of Oz, like just staring at me. Great, powerful Oz just staring at me in my wall.
Well, I had the slowly fall asleep. Like, you know that in movies where people like blink their eyes and they're awake? It was essentially a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of thing. But it wasn't Freddy that popped up. It was a blink your eyes. Oh, no, I'm still awake. Blink your eyes. Open them up. The room looks the same. And then 3 dark figures just kind of elevator up from the foot of the bed in front of me and do these slow creep in.
How many? 3?
3.
Interesting. I have a similar experience.
See now.
Whatchamacallit, I was sitting in a chair next to a black light and I felt the beads of sweat going down my body. And I was rational at this point because I'm like, I think there's bugs on me. I know I'm sweating. I know I'm by the black light. It's super hot, but I don't want to move. And I know if I move, I'm going to go to the ground. I'm going to lay down. And if I lay down, I'm not going to get up, which I proceeded to do. And that's when, like, I started closing my eyes and shit. And I had, like, when I closed my eyes anyway, I saw 3 beings. I wrote it down in my trip journal. And I don't remember exactly what they were saying, but like, you know, they're talking to me. Give me a little, you know,
pep talk,
some words.
They
just told me I wasn't ready.
Oh, damn.
Oh, they were Sony PlayStation salesmen. Remember that advertising campaign? PS1?
Yeah, they stood over me. He's not ready, and I'm like, fuck. Ready for what?
Not ready, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that made me think of immediately with the Hatman stuff. You ever hear of John D? I'm sure you've heard of Aleister Crowley.
Yes.
So these people thought that they could channel entities and shit like that through, like, you know, their seance circles, whatever, chants, which the chanting shit goes back millennia. Like, a lot of ancient cultures believe if you got, like, in a hypnotic trance state, you could channel demons or some shit. But specifically for Justin, the DMT molecule, I believe that when you're in sleep paralysis, that's obviously activated, and that's why you see shit like that. And you're kind of in like here's reality, here's subconscious, you're like in here, which happens when you take DMT because everyone speaks of elves and shit like that. So, what I'm saying is I buy it.
Yeah. So what I'd like to talk about is, like, it seems to me that sleep paralysis, because you're in that state, not quite asleep, not quite fully awake, or fully awake, just your whatever's functioning differently, right? Because your brain's on like a different fucking setting. It's like a lifting of the veil. That's why you see these things, but they're not like fully formed to you, because you're still focused on this reality, be whatever it is. Like parallel dimension kind of shit, you know, side by side with us, or if it's something more of like a demon or fae, or it's just you're on a wavelength that you're not normally at, which is why I think the Benadryl of it all kind of leads into that, right? It's like mushrooms. It's like
Ketamine.
Yeah, right. It's sparking different parts of your brain that don't normally operate when you're, you know, normally fully conscious doing your daily thing.
Unless you're...
Yeah, but yes. But why is there so many reports of the same exact thing?
Well, it's not the same exact thing, right? It's
No, it is.
Generalization of a guy in a hat.
Well, you either see, a lot of people report seeing the Hatman, say, or a shadow person, right?
Yes.
But a lot of reports, Mike. Like, it's very similar things reported thousands of times over. So to me, that's where, like, I can't write it off as just like, it's just a hallucination. Because why are so many people having the same exact hallucination?
It's a very basic fear-induced hallucination.
Sure. A shadowy figure, yes. But when it comes to the Hatman, in particular, as way too much of like a sheer coincidence for me to believe.
Okay, let's try and figure out how many people do you think are having these moments, well, my fucking brain completely farted. I can't even remember what we're talking about, the specific thing.
Hatman?
No, not Hatman.
Sleep paralysis?
Thank you. Why did my brain lose sleep paralysis? So there's a lot of people who have sleep paralysis, more than anyone ever knew of, because we didn't really talk about it. People never brought it up. As far as I knew, no one ever brought it up until very recently. And how many people are having sleep paralysis moments that aren't Hatman related, that are some kind of other dark thing just fucking with them?
I don't know, when I had mine, I was probably in my teens.
7.6% of the general population
has sleep paralysis moments.
Admitted. Think about how many people don't because they're
admitted.
scared.
He's right.
Yeah.
Admitted numbers. That's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah. Now, what percentage of that 7 point whatever percent is seeing the Hatman?
Hang on a minute and I'll let you know.
50%.
70% of the time it works every time. I think that's a much harder percentage to get accurately.
Yeah, it's not as like right up top.
And it's not like they're identifying a specific person. They're just saying it's a figure wearing a hat. You get 1 million people having sleep paralysis. I guarantee you more than a few of them are going to see a person in a hat. And then the ones that show a correlation, show some kind of similarity, people are going to be like, oh, there's got to be something here.
Isn't it weird, though, that the Benadryl overconsumption is all the same hallucination?
Is it all the same, or is it a lot of the same? Because I don't think everyone that's ever
it has got to be a high enough
thing.
percentage that it's associated with the figure. So even at like 75% of Benadryl ODs, and not in like a deadly way, are seeing the same exact figure, says something.
If it's 75%, we don't know exactly. We're pulling numbers out of our ass right now.
I mean, it's still large enough for him to be nicknamed the Benadryl Hatman.
Does he wear a hat with Benadryl on it? Is he like Ricky Bobby?
He's pushing it.
Any hats?
It's like, oh, by the way.
Because we all know that's what the future's going to be. When you're dreaming, they're going to beam ads into your dreams.
Now,
Just enough to where you won't have a seizure.
Yeah. Along with the Hatman, we've been talking about a shadow person, a shadow people. A shadow person is a popular subject in circles of the paranormal and supernatural detailings, being resembling animate human shadows, sometimes interpreted as the presence of a spirit. Now, I've seen shadow people out the corner of my eyes during the daytime on the streets of Lakewood where there's been shootings on a route. You know, I've seen them in houses. I've seen them in Joy's house. I've seen them here.
This is totally against my counsel of nah. I've totally seen shadow people as well.
Ooh.
In the
yays. Look at that.
I remember seeing, we were in the woods out at Savoy Road. There used to be a factory out there, and I remember seeing some out there.
Okay.
And I was sober.
Were you looking at them like you saw them for a long time, or like just instead out of the corner of his eye? And then when you turn and look again, are these things still there? Because our eyes do play tricks.
I mean, I have seen directly. The one on the route was like, I had looked up from the mail, and there was just a mass standing at the end of the street. And I'm like, the fuck is that? And, I like look around to see if anybody else is fucking noticing this thing. It's gone.
Yeah, that's how mine was. You look at it and it's dead, and you look away and then it's gone.
I've never seen one lucid. It's always been under consumption.
Yeah, that one I was sober because we were gonna go do that afterwards.
Ghosts don't like me.
Huh?
Ghosts don't like me. They don't reveal themselves to me.
That's it.
Fast is broken. I'm starting with Doritos.
Oh no.
That's fine. It's only a minute early.
Okay, how long did you do?
24 hours.
Oh yeah. Next is 36.
No.
Then it's 48.
No, my body was not feeling.
56.
My body was not feeling good like 2 hours ago.
But you want to start seeing shadow people? Yeah, you get up to 56 hours.
Yeah.
I've done 72, bro. You could do it.
No.
I'm a shadow person.
No shadow people there. You should get run through a brick wall though. Day 1.5. After you get through the first day and you know you're doing another day and a half, you're like, alright, I'm a monster. You can see why like primitive people were like so much stronger. Because they fucking had to be.
No.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that was genetics.
Yeah.
Well, they genetically didn't need it.
They didn't have. They didn't live a life of comfort, sir.
Yeah, well, Mike, enough with the faces, okay? I know what I said. I said what I said.
There's also, besides the sleep paralysis shadow people, there's the good old sleep paralysis demon.
It's pretty much what mine was. If I remember back to it, one of them had horns. So
these are usually associated with the kind of sleep paralysis attacks where it feels like someone is sitting on your chest and choking you. Not in a good way.
Wiener?
See, I've had that, but I didn't. When I had like my sleep paralysis moment, I didn't see anything. I just know I couldn't like speak or move.
So these are along the lines of like the sleep paralysis demon, or like that old hag.
Anakin's the father, isn't he? I'm so sorry.
Where it's like this creepy old bitch is sitting on you trying to choke the life out of you.
Baba Yaga? You know Baba Yaga?
Pretty much.
Now, like I said, sleep paralysis, the only one I've had where I'm in the same environment that I was when I went to sleep, or at least a facsimile of it. My mind sees all the same info is in the room, has only happened once. But paralysis is a huge part of my dreaming. At least once a month, I have that can't run, can't do anything, or can't talk dream.
That's fucked up.
Now, I'm convinced the can't run one is about ineptitude. It's about feeling powerless. I'm pretty sure most of us have had that one where you're even walking, it takes effort.
Mine's never movement like running or walking. Mine's always like fighting.
Yeah, those happen too.
Mine will always be like someone's coming at me and and I'm throwing a punch and like it feels like I'm throwing full force, but it's moving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why can't I fucking hit you?
I either have, when it comes to fight dreams, I'm completely powerless like that, or I'm a fucking Jedi. I can just take out a room full of people with zero effort.
I had a very fun fight dream last night. Remind me to tell it off air. I can't say it on the show.
I had a dream. It was like I needed glasses, but I feel like, I was on Namek, and Piccolo was teaching me how to fly, and it felt so real because, like when you go up on a roller coaster and then you come down, you're like, I was hitting those spots where I'm like, I'm doing it, and I would come back down. Like, I felt it in my head. I was like, holy shit, I can fly.
One of my favorite things about dreams is how it really is virtual reality. Like, your body will recreate what it thinks these things should feel like.
Yeah.
I've web swung. I know what it feels like to web swing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The last thing about the stuff I brought before, the inability to speak one, that happens on a pretty regular basis, but I think I know the reason behind that. I think it's because I'm sleeping on my stomach and my mouth is covered, like my mouth is pressed up against the pillow or whatever, and I don't know, since I've been alone most of my life, no one's really told me. I think I talk in my sleep.
I do, and I'm really shit-faced, which is super rare, but I remember I yelled at my dad once from my bedroom. I just remember going, what the fuck do you want? What's your problem? It was at 5 a.m. I was like, nothing. And he's like, you're fucked up. And we just put that to bed. Good times.
So, dear Council of Nah.
Yeah, I'm not completely impressed. Like, you haven't swayed me at all.
Sleep paralysis.
So let's run down the facts, Justin, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's saying they experienced it in some form or fashion.
Yes.
There are shamans and ancient mystics that channel demons in certain ways.
Not really a fact. We didn't establish that.
We established that the DMT molecule, when you sleep, activates for your dreams. And me and Justin's vote automatically counts as 3.
I'm going to go with, do we agree and feel that sleep paralysis is potentially the thinning of a veil between dimensions?
Not really, no.
Given the amount of people...
I don't know about a thinning in between dimensions.
Why? You don't believe in dimensions, dude?
I do believe in,
Then
Okay, all right. This isn't on your terms of dimensions, then.
Then what do you think?
Solid over there.
I just think that, when you're in sleep paralysis, it's just your brain.
But why are there so many people experiencing very similar
Well,
things?
like I was saying before, how many people are experiencing different things while they have sleep paralysis happen? Like, we don't know the exact numbers. And if you're in a situation where you can't move and there's something coming toward you, it will most likely be something negative looking. And they're obviously not all the same thing. When described, there are inconsistencies. So it's your
When
mind
described,
making...
they're all shadow people, which I'm saying are not fully formed
Okay, but like,
interdimensional beings.
what's the description of the shadow person? Is it big and bulky? They're not all the same body type? They're slender, some have claws.
Either fucking humans.
Exactly. So it's individuals' minds creating a horror for them when they can't defend themselves.
Not all of it's a horror, though. What I'm saying is, all 7.6% of the population who have experienced the sleep paralysis are having the same vision of an entity that they can't fully make out.
Wait, was that 7.6 the people who admit having sleep paralysis or admit seeing the thing? Okay, well, having sleep paralysis and seeing the thing.
No. That's every case of sleep paralysis has the same issue. there is an entity scene. Whether it's a Hatman, the Hag, Shadow People, there's always a version of a thing there with them.
Okay.
That's a lot of
speaks
fucking
to psychology more than anything else to me.
I don't understand.
You don't understand that people, when they're in a situation where they can't defend themselves and something is coming at them, it could be a formless black entity or dark amorphous entity. I guarantee you it's not every time. I guarantee there's some people, I've seen stories where they have details. It's not just a shapeless creature. There are people who see demons. There are people who see specific people coming at them. Fuckers see clowns.
Fucking clowns.
It's not all just hat people and shadow folk. The fact that it happens often makes me think that there are some people whose dream imagination isn't that well developed.
But are you saying that there's a hive mind experience then?
No,
that many people experiencing the same thing.
But it's not the exact same thing.
But it's close enough, Mike.
It's similar, yes.
Right.
But
you can't just fucking blow that off.
Yeah, you can, because there's no actual measurable info on it. People giving vague descriptions of there was a thing that looked like that I can't completely describe because I don't have all the details because I can't remember them. You're going to lump them all into one description?
Yes.
That is not very scientific.
Well, the problem with science and this stuff is this is considered pseudoscience by many.
Right.
So the data is a little skewed. And I rather find it shallow and pedantic that they haven't done invasive studies, double placebo studies on such events and science.
I'm trying to think in my head how you would set up that kind of experiment and how fucking expensive it would be.
Right.
Well, think about the shit we spend money on. I always go back to this one. There was like a $10 million grant to send scientists or doctors, whatever, to Africa to teach people how to clean their wieners. Now, I mean, that's a lot of wampum for penis cleaning. Now, imagine we took that $10 million and we go, let's go see some demons.
Actually, that's not a lot of money for that. Think of how many people...
This was 2000, I was in high school. 6.
Still, considering how many people there are in Africa.
Yeah.
Well, they're not getting the money. The people that are training them to clean their wieners are getting the money.
Right, but
they're not just getting the money. They're getting... The money pays for their flights, their food, their lodging, their travel while they're there.
Maybe.
That's what the grant is for. It's not just for them to go there and stand in one place and be like, hey, anybody here not know how to wash their dick?
They go, you, come here, go in here, we're gonna teach you to clean your penis, and they go, oh, and they just start doing this, their penis, and they all go, oh.
And I'm going to need a little more information on this dick cleaning study, but something tells me it's about overall hygiene in an area that doesn't have good hygiene.
Well, like I said, 2006 was a long time ago. So...
I love the Vinny misdirect. Well, maybe, but...
Well, no, I'm saying it's 2006. Who knows? But, like I said, people aren't lining up in any country to be like, how do I clean it?
Ask me about my wiener.
Yeah. So, like, spare me.
It would cost thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, you would seem, to go from village to village and be like, all right, who here isn't circumcised? Okay, you know you got to wash that thing off every once in a while, right? No, you didn't know that? Yeah, you really should.
Then they go, sorry, White Devil, I must kill you now.
Thank you, Nkwensu. You will not leave this village.
White Devil, White Devil.
That's how they know you.
All right. So... Mike's clearly out because he doesn't believe in anything fun.
Joe's on the fence heavily, but he refuses to tip the right way.
I didn't see, like, I've experienced sleep paralysis, but, you know, I didn't see a Hatman or a Shadow Man when I was having sleep paralysis.
But you believe in alternate dimensions.
I do, you know, I'm saying, you know, I've seen spirits, or think I've seen spirits.
Who was your tormentor while you were paralyzed in the sleep?
Nobody.
Beth.
I just woke up and I was just couldn't.
Well,
It's Beth.
so you have Benadryl, nobody?
Yeah, it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Benadryl. I just woke up and I just couldn't move or speak. And I fell back to sleep.
How much
and-
Joe? How much
You have
Joe?
one maybe, one no, 4 yes.
All right. I feel that's enough time.
Yeah. Verdict?
Oh.
It's true. Hatman's real, son.
The only verdict I have is that I can't sleep on my back.
You ever fall asleep and, like, in your dream, you're like, fuck, I gotta take a piss. And then you wake up, you're like, holy shit, I gotta take a piss.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What demon's that?
That's the piss demon.
Piss demon.
Sitting on my bladder.
Prostate.
Piss.
That's why before I go to bed every night, I make tink tink.
I still get up.
Yeah.
Man, I'm worried about the day. When the day does come where it's like, all right, I go take a piss. I should be good for the rest of the night. Oh, no. I gambled and lost. I'm officially old.
I wake up a lot to pee, and I have for a long time, but that's only because with my post-nasal drip at night, my mouth gets so fucking dry. I wake up from, like, dry mouth, and I have to chug water. And I know 2 hours from then, I'm going to wake up to fucking piss.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
You know what? Before we finish talking about dreaming, I would like to spend a hot minute on lucid dreaming since Vinny brought it up before.
That's a whole different show.
Oh, we're going to do that one day?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
doing
Lucid
That's
dreaming.
not like, there's nothing iffy about that. It's a
No.
real thing. It's
Yeah.
a scientifically proven thing.
Dreams.
Yeah, you don't get a nah out of that.
Dreams.
That's
Dreams is a whole episode. So,
That's yeah.
so look forward to that. If Kyle were here, he'd tell you, if you like what you hear, go to facebook.com/nerdities, @nerdities on Twitter, @nerdities on Instagram. Don't even bother with nerdities@gmail.com. Instead, prowrestlingtees.com/nerdities. Buy our t-shirts. They're cool.
There's a gmail.com. Give us money there. That's where money comes to.
Buy the fucking t-shirts and give us money. No one sends us money in the email.
Yeah. And if you buy the t-shirt, you walk around with the t-shirt on, advertising us.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for all of us.
Yeah, boy.
All right. Let's go into the regular ending.
Uh-huh.
The opinions of the nerdy screw, idiotic, and quality out, but the only thing that makes it far more insulting.
Oh my god, it's
Especially
so
on this
good.
show. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Because of the end of civilization, the Clamp Cable Network now leaves the air. We hope you have enjoyed our programming, but more importantly, we hope you have enjoyed life.